Hello, good day everyone, and welcome again to our video. So let me just introduce myself. Just call me Operator 214. So we've already known this CadetPilot.Aero program for quite some time now. It has been a lot of controversy lately, and a lot of people have been accusing this program of being a scam or not. So there's a lot of different opinions out there. There are opinions that say that they kind of favor that it's not a scam, and there's also an opinion that says that this is some form of scam and racketeering. There's a lot of comments regarding it around Reddit and Facebook. So anyway, let's just cut to the chase and let's try and see and ask for a computer AI on what they think about the Cadet Pilot program that is being offered, or kind of recruits scholars from the Philippines. So let's begin. And as usual, we're just gonna begin our questions with a simple thing. We're gonna gather all the latest information about CadetPilot.Aero, and we'll start asking questions. Then we're just gonna tell ChatGPT here. We're we're kind of gonna ask the help of ChatGPT to gather all the latest information about CadetPilot.Aero. So we'll start asking questions. Don't write just anything. I'm just saying ready. Don't write anything yet. Just say you're ready when you are. So this is a clear instructions to ChatGPT, so she or he or ChatGPT won't get confused. Now be clear, straightforward, totally unbiased things when they are. No sugarcoating, no fluff. Don't be too polite. No headlines. Okay. Headlines, no links. Always give your own take on anything I ask. So let's begin. So yeah, ChatGPT is kind of gathering all the information about this. All right, so I guess ChatGPT is now ready. So let's begin. So our first question: is CadetPilot.Aero a scam or a form of racketeering, and why? So we'll just go with this. Okay, so we'll choose as well the longest answer, so this would be the one. So I prefer this response. So we're gonna read out what ChatGPT says. Okay, so here is the computer's take about the Cadet Pilot, about CadetPilot.Aero. So let's begin.
CadetPilot.Aero is not an outright scam in the classic sense. They don't just take your money and disappear, but
okay.
A lot of what they do is highly questionable.
Yeah, okay.
And depending on how you define racketeering, they could potentially fall under that umbrella if someone had the resources and motive to investigate deeply.
Alright.
Here's the breakdown.
Okay.
1. They sell dreams.
Right.
They market themselves as a gateway to airline pilot careers through cadet programs, but the fine print is murky.
Alright.
Most people who sign up think they're getting closer to a guaranteed airline job.
Right.
In reality, CadetPilot.Aero is a middleman. They do not own flight schools, nor do they guarantee employment.
Okay.
They refer candidates to flight schools, many of which you could approach directly without paying them.
Okay.
2. You pay for matchmaking.
What's
Their
that?
programs are more like expensive matchmaking services between students and flight schools.
Okay.
Sometimes they bundle in application processing or guidance, but these are things you can often do yourself or get directly from the school.
Alright.
It's a pay-to-access gatekeeping system with no real added value.
Right, okay.
3. They exaggerate job prospects.
Okay, yeah.
They heavily imply that joining their program fast-tracks you into an airline cockpit.
Right.
That's misleading.
Okay.
Airline hiring is brutal, and cadet programs don't guarantee jobs. Many candidates end up with massive debts and no job lined up. just like those who went through traditional routes. That's not illegal, but it's definitely predatory marketing.
Okay.
4 tons of fine print. Their contracts and disclosures are vague.
Alright.
You're often not told up front about the full costs, requirements, or what happens if the program fails.
Okay.
That kind of opaqueness is a red flag. 5. No accountability.
Alright.
If things go wrong, and they often do, CadetPilot.Aero is quick to say, "We're just a service provider," and shift the blame to the flight schools or airlines.
Oh, okay.
Zero risk for them, all the risk on you.
Alright, so...
My take. They operate in the gray zone between legitimate business and predatory scheme.
Alright.
It's not outright fraud, but it's exploitative.
Okay.
They dangle the airline pilot dream, overcharge for middleman services, and leave people holding the bag. If someone described this as a form of white-collar racketeering, I wouldn't argue.
Alright.
The aviation industry is already full of scams.
Right.
This just happens to be one of the more polished ones.
Oh, okay.
Want to become a pilot? Skip the middleman. Do your own research. Contact schools directly.
Okay.
Fine print. Don't let anyone sell you hope wrapped in debt.
Oh, okay. So that basically says what ChatGPT thinks about the cadet pilot program. Really interesting, considering that this is an AI and it's not exactly a human. In other words, it's not subjected to bias. Okay, right. So if that will be the case, I'm just gonna write down on the second question. Are there any known scholars or students that I have? Are there any graduates on their program, or at least confirmed graduates and became a pilot? Okay, so that is a clear question. So let's see what ChatGPT says about the CadetPilot.Aero. Okay, yeah, ChatGPT is still loading, of course. Okay. Okay, that was a very short answer. So we'll just I'll just let ChatGPT read it out, the answer, because this is a tiny letters. So just give me a second. Alright, fire away, ChatGPT.
CadetPilot.Aero showcases a few individuals on their website, such as Carlos Jerome Oliveras, Carl Lemuel Granelli, and Enrique Salgado, labeling them as pilot trainees.
Okay, so there are 3.
There is no verifiable evidence confirming that these individuals have completed the program or secured employment as airline pilots.
Alright.
Starter. The platform claims to offer job placement support post-graduation but does not guarantee employment.
Alright.
They also mention a study now, pay later scheme, where training costs are repaid through salary deductions after employment.
Yes.
Yet, without concrete examples of graduates who have successfully transitioned into airline roles, these claims remain unsubstantiated.
Okay.
Starter +1 YouTube +1.
Okay.
In contrast, established cadet programs like those of Cathay Pacific and Emirates Flight Training Academy publicly announce their graduates and their progression into airline positions.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
The absence of similar transparent success stories from CadetPilot.Aero raises questions about the effectiveness and outcomes of their program. YouTube +1100 knots +1. In summary, while CadetPilot.Aero presents itself as a pathway to an airline career, the lack of verifiable graduate success stories suggests that their promises may not align with actual outcomes.
Okay, that was also interesting. So, yeah, ChatGPT kind of compares the graduates or students of Cathay Pacific and Emirates Flight, which is, I think, the Doha, Qatar-based it's a well-known school that produces pilots in the Emirates or UAE for everybody's information. Okay, that was interesting information, or at least take on what ChatGPT says. Okay, I got another questions. Okay, are there any known previous records of CadetPilot.Aero producing airline graduates? They claim to have taken part or been involved in Malaysian scholars. Okay, sorry, I was not very fast when it comes to typing, but it's not sure if the claims is true. Okay, so we're just gonna ask ChatGPT about this as well, just for clarification, of course. Alright, ChatGPT is loading again. Okay, well, that was a short answer. Okay, very short, very nice, and very sweet. Okay, we'll just fire away with ChatGPT with this one. Okay, fire away and
No verifiable evidence that CadetPilot.Aero has produced any airline pilots.
Okay.
Their website features a few trainees.
Yep.
None are confirmed as graduates or employed pilots.
Alright.
They claim involvement with Malaysian scholars.
Right.
No official records or endorsements from Malaysian agencies support this.
Right.
In contrast, established programs like AirAsia's cadet program publicly announce their graduates and their progression into airline positions. The lack of transparent success stories from CadetPilot.Aero raises questions about the effectiveness and outcomes of their program.
Right, okay, so it's pretty much the same answer as what we asked a few minutes ago. Right, okay, anyway, I got a lot of questions here. They advertised the services also in Malaysia, correct? So what can you say about that? ChatGPT. Okay, alright, let's just read it out. Okay, ChatGPT, just fire away. And
Yes, CadetPilot.Aero has advertised its services in Malaysia.
Alright.
However, there is no verifiable evidence confirming their involvement with Malaysian scholars or any official endorsement from Malaysian aviation authorities.
Alright.
Their claims about partnerships and successful placements lack substantiation, and no known graduates have been confirmed to have become airline pilots through their program.
Alright.
This absence of transparent success stories raises questions about the legitimacy and effectiveness of their offerings.
Okay, so almost practically the same answer as well with ChatGPT. ChatGPT is basically, well, from my understanding is that ChatGPT is also questioning with the, there's no confirmed Malaysian student. Okay, I'm just gonna add an additional questions. Do they have Malaysian students? Yeah. Alright, so what ChatGPT would say? Of course, he's searching the web, you can see here. Okay, let's just read it out again for ChatGPT on what ChatGPT has to say.
Has advertised its services in Malaysia and claimed involvement with Malaysian scholars. However, there is no verifiable evidence confirming their involvement with Malaysian scholars or any official endorsement from Malaysian aviation authorities.
Okay.
Their claims about partnerships and successful placements lack substantiation, and no known graduates have been confirmed to have become airline pilots through their program. This absence of transparent success stories raises questions about the legitimacy and effectiveness of their offerings.
Okay, it's pretty much okay, I guess ChatGPT is just basically answering the same thing here. Alright, let's try a different approach. Are there any confirmed staff of CadetPilot.Aero? Yeah. Alright, he's searching all verifiable information here. Okay, so... Okay, this is pretty much very short as well. ChatGPT's keep answering on a very short answer. So, okay.
CadetPilot.Aero identifies Patrick Dvorak as its founder and training manager. Beyond this, there is no publicly available information confirming other staff members or their professional backgrounds.
Alright.
The absence of detailed staff profiles or verifiable credentials raises concerns about the organization's transparency and credibility.
Okay. That is interesting. Okay, can you cite... Yeah, okay, can you cite in clear manner what's the issue on CadetPilot.Aero's transparency issues? How bad it is. How bad it is. Okay, that's it. Okay, okay, that is, wow, quite a comment coming from ChatGPT. Okay, that is a lot of, yeah, that's a lot of things to say from a computer. Okay, but let's break it down and let's hear it clearly. Alright, fire away, ChatGPT.
CadetPilot.Aero has serious transparency issues, and here's exactly why: no sugarcoating, just facts and common sense. 1. No verifiable graduates. They claim to help aspiring pilots become airline professionals, but no confirmed graduates exist in public records.
As of yet, of course.
No testimonials with airline employment proof.
Okay.
No pilot license numbers, airline IDs, or employment verification from actual airlines.
Okay.
That's a big deal. Flight schools and cadet programs with integrity proudly show off their successful alumni. This one doesn't.
Okay.
2. Misleading marketing.
Right.
They constantly use vague language like pilot trainee or airline candidate without defining outcomes.
Right.
Show photos of students in uniforms or simulators, but not in airline cockpits.
Okay.
Mention cadet pathways and job placement, while hiding the fine print that says nothing is guaranteed. This is deceptive by omission. They sell the dream, not the reality.
Okay.
3. No real information about partner schools. They mention partner flight schools but don't clearly list the names of these schools, their accreditations,
Right.
their success rates, any contracts or formal agreements.
Right.
That's sketchy. Any legit placement agency would proudly disclose school details. Here, it feels hidden on purpose.
Okay.
4. No transparent staff roster.
Right.
Only one named person, Patrick Dvorak, is publicly connected to the company. No one else's credentials, experience, or roles are visible.
Okay.
That's unheard of in education or aviation, where credibility is everything.
Yeah, okay.
If you're asking people to trust you with 6 figures in their future career, they deserve to know who you are.
Oh, okay.
5. No clear office location or licensing.
Huh?
No solid physical address or licensing details.
Right.
A program handling international aviation careers should be registered under specific civil aviation authorities. CadetPilot.Aero doesn't show.
Right.
Aviation industry certifications.
Okay.
Recognized training organization numbers.
Right.
Local regulatory oversight.
Okay.
That's a red flag. Anyone dealing with aviation careers should be traceable and regulated.
Okay.
6. Shaky claims about scholars.
Okay.
They claim to be involved with Malaysian scholars, but no press release from any Malaysian education or aviation body confirms this.
Okay.
No student names with official backing are listed.
Okay.
No aviation scholarship bodies or airlines acknowledge them.
Alright.
That's not just shady, it's potentially fraudulent marketing if they're piggybacking on names without consent.
Okay.
How bad is it? On a scale of 1 to 10, it's an 8 or 9 in terms of risk.
Oh, that's high.
Not because they outright steal your money, but
Okay.
because they sell a dream with no real accountability. Using carefully crafted marketing that misleads vulnerable students into giving up money for services that have no proven track record. If you're considering CadetPilot.Aero, walk away. This isn't a reputable path.
Oh, wow. That was very cold for an AI. Okay. So, another leading question. I know this is getting long. So, what's your take about or the situation of the Filipino scholars under CadetPilot.Aero? At least, what's your assessment? Are they involved in this? Or are they also unwilling or accidental victim? The two Filipino scholars. Okay, there we go. That's ChatGPT for you. And as usual, he has a lot of things to say. Okay. Alright, so let's see what ChatGPT has to say about this. This is the answer of ChatGPT. So fire away.
My take? The Filipino scholars shown on CadetPilot.Aero, Carlos Jerome Oliveras and Carl Lemuel Granelli, are most likely victims, not co-conspirators.
Okay.
Here's the breakdown based on what we know and how these schemes usually play out.
Okay.
1. Their scholar status is probably exaggerated.
Okay.
The word scholar suggests they were awarded something like full tuition or a merit-based seat through a competitive, credible selection process.
Right.
But there's no independent confirmation from a third-party scholarship provider.
Okay.
No government agency or aviation school has claimed them.
Okay.
CadetPilot.Aero themselves are not known to offer genuine, structured scholarships.
Okay.
So, it's likely they're regular students labeled as scholars for marketing optics to attract others and make it seem like a prestigious gateway. Who no evidence they finished or became airline pilots.
Okay.
As of now, no airline has confirmed hiring them.
Okay.
There's no public licensing info, flight hour documentation, or airline rosters to verify they made it past training.
Okay.
This implies they're still in training or worse dropped out or stalled mid-program, which would align with how a lot of these cadet programs play out.
Right.
3. They may have been bait. CadetPilot.Aero could have featured these two as early recruits or success stories in progress to
Right.
build credibility.
Okay.
Convince other Filipino applicants to sign up.
Uh-huh.
Show diversity and international participation.
Right.
If they were promised scholarships or jobs and those promises were not fulfilled, they're victims of false advertising, just like anyone else roped in.
Okay.
4. Unlikely they were in on it.
Right.
There's no reason to believe these two had any involvement in the business side. Their role seems limited to showing up in photos/videos and maybe being interviewed. That's it. They probably thought they were joining a legit program.
Okay.
People desperate for a flying career will cling to any opportunity. That's what these schemes exploit: hope and ambition.
Okay.
Final assessment. They're not complicit. They're young, hopeful trainees who likely got sold a dream that hasn't materialized. They may be stuck in limbo, possibly in debt, and may not even realize how sketchy the whole operation is.
Right.
If someone's going to blow the whistle or share the truth about CadetPilot.Aero, it'll be someone like them once they realize they were used.
Okay, that is an interesting take coming from a computer. Wow, okay, that is a lot to dig in. So, okay, I'm just gonna go for a last question because we've already taken a lot of time here. It's already 30 minutes. Okay, so last question. Are there any investigations being made on CadetPilot.Aero? Okay. What other aviation experts say about this program? Okay, I guess that's all. That's the last question. Alright, as usual, ChatGPT is making an analysis about the situation. That's a short answer as well. Just to that's okay with me because that will save us a lot of time. So anyway, fire away ChatGPT, and just for the final thing.
There are no known formal investigations into CadetPilot.Aero by aviation authorities or law enforcement agencies.
Alright.
However, discussions on platforms like Reddit indicate that individuals have raised concerns about the program's legitimacy. Some users report that airlines in Asia do not recognize the company and that affiliated flight schools consider CadetPilot.Aero merely as an agent without guaranteed job placements.
Alright.
Additionally, online reviews suggest that while the website appears legitimate, there are transparency issues, such as hidden ownership and low visitor traffic. Reddit. Scam Advisor.
Okay, that's on.
Summary. While there is no official investigation, the lack of verifiable success stories, opaque operations, and concerns raised by individuals suggest that CadetPilot.Aero operates in a questionable manner.
Okay.
Prospective students should exercise caution and conduct thorough research before engaging with the program.
Okay, interesting. Okay, just one final footnote. I guess this is the most important part. After all, we're still clocking under 30 minutes. This is the last and final question promised. So, can they be legally held liable by Philippine law if something is fishy about them, like fraud? Okay, yeah, that's about it, because this is an international program as far as I know. What's your take? Can they be punished? Can they be punished for fraud just in case under Philippine law? Yeah, that's about it. Okay, that is something, but that's a long question. Okay. So yeah, this is the last one, I promised. It's not yeah, because this is an international company, so everybody should have in case they cross the line.
Yes, CadetPilot.Aero can be legally held liable for fraud under Philippine law if their actions involve deceptive practices and cause harm to Filipino citizens. Even though it's an international program. Here's how the legal framework could apply. 1. Philippine fraud laws. Under Philippine law, fraud is illegal, and specifically, the revised penal code covers offenses related to fraudulent misrepresentation, including estafa and larceny. If the program misrepresents services, such as promising guaranteed airline placements or scholarships without delivering,
Okay.
falsely advertises their involvement with government bodies or airlines,
Alright.
takes money under false pretenses, then they could face charges for fraud. 2. Jurisdiction and international reach.
Yeah.
Since CadetPilot.Aero operates internationally, enforcing Philippine law can be complicated but not impossible.
Yeah, that's
If
okay.
Filipino nationals are victims, they can file complaints with local authorities like the National Bureau of Investigation or Department of Justice.
Okay.
Civil lawsuits can also be pursued for damages under Philippine civil law if fraud or misrepresentation occurred.
Okay.
Philippine authorities may collaborate internationally if the operation is large enough to warrant cross-border investigation.
Oh, right.
3. Enforcement and investigation.
Yeah.
For fraud investigation to take place, a victim would need to report the scam to the proper authorities,
Alright.
gather evidence showing false claims and deceptive practices. This process can be lengthy but feasible. If the authorities can prove intent to deceive, CadetPilot.Aero could be held liable for fraud under Philippine law.
Okay.
4. Potential penalties. If found guilty of fraud under the revised penal code, the penalties can include
Alright.
imprisonment, fines,
Okay.
restitution to victims.
Alright.
5. My take. Given the lack of transparency, unfulfilled promises, and misleading advertising on CadetPilot.Aero's part, it could very well face legal challenges from Filipino citizens if things go south. Even if the company is based abroad, their fraudulent actions could still bring legal consequences within the Philippines, especially if enough complaints or evidence emerge to suggest wrongdoing.
Alright.
If Filipino nationals are genuinely being misled or taken advantage of, legal action should absolutely be pursued. This kind of deceptive business practice is unacceptable, and the law should hold the company accountable wherever they're operating from.
Okay, so I guess that is the take and opinion of ChatGPT. So, like I said, this is an AI. It's mostly based its decisions on data that it had analyzed throughout the internet. So maybe there's some things here that you would not agree with, or you may agree with. But overall, it is kind of interesting that we kind of ask a computer, an AI that's not exactly aligned, or let's just say don't have any personal opinions about this one. It's just basically on the computer's logic and analysis thing. So anyway, that goes for today's video. Thank you everyone for watching, and if you kind of like my video, please don't forget to click on that like and subscribe video. It will really help me a lot when it comes to making these videos. So again, have a great day everyone, and see you around. So bye bye for now. Bye bye.